Welcome to the complete Joomla component creator. Maybe you are watching this video because you are tired of writing always the same code when you develop for Joomla. Joomla is a complete system with an architecture that allows you a lot of possibilities. But starting a new project for Joomla, even with few tables, you already know that you will spend a lot of time just for the basis of your component. A really annoying job without creativity. Cook has been created for professionals of internet who are already friendly with component developing, but also for beginners who want to discover how to go deeper in Joomla. You can now create your own component even if you never heard about PHP. Finally, Cook is also an educative tool to understand how to build a strong and coherent component. When you develop with Cook, you are sure to don't forget anything. Instead of common constructor kits, basing the forms on the article table, Cook built a real standalone packaged component. The major difference in this case is that you can complete or modify the source code. It's now possible to develop easily a real web application on Joomla with customized functionalities that the content component can't handle. You can distribute your project because it don't need any other requirements. Your component is not based on a particular third class or a particular new framework. It respects a full Joomla standard and the source code is limited to the strict necessary. Cook interface is a pretty JavaScript drag-and-drop application. Compose your project taking elements from the toolboxes. Your project is constantly saved on each operation you do. With the tabbing system, you can work on simultaneous projects, simultaneous tables and pages without refreshing your screen. In order to try your project in real time, you can run it in the sandbox and check your work both in the front end and in the back end. You can enter unlimited datasets, coming back to the generator, regenerate it, and you will not lose any of your previous data. Multiple sandboxes are disponible depending for which framework version you are working. The sandboxes are cleaned every day in order to propose you a daily fresh installation up with the last Joomla release. Cook self-service is really optimized to build a strong application layer of your component. After that, you can easily template your component because you already know about the Joomla standard. But, in order to simplify your job, Cook also creates your components page and implements pretty data fields. A pretty data field has a predefined format with its form validator, its own HTML markers and styles, and even sometimes an associated JavaScript file. When the user submits a form, it is indispensable to check if a required data has been missed or to check if the entered value respects the attempted format. The validation is processed by a regular expression. Cook furnishes you a collection of regular expressions that you can choose to answer your needs. You can also enter yours and check them in live. If you want to inform the user of some instruction for a field, you can choose a message to show under it. You can also customize the error messages for each different field. To do this, a JavaScript code extends the possibility of the native form validator. Don't waste any more your time rewriting common functionalities. If you need a publishing system, or automatically alias a title, an ordering system, etc., choose a wizard from the toolbox, drop it, and link it to a table field. The wizard can also automatically create his own field requirements. Because you define the links between your tables, Cook is able to manage unlimited foreign keys and keep integrity between them. For example, if you delete a category, you can choose to flush all the contained items. You can choose to reset the keys of each element in this category, or to keep all the broken keys. This functionality don't require InnoDB or other special database library. You can compose your layouts with any reachable data from the possible context. Browse the fields tree and choose the data you want to see in the layout. There is no level limitation. Another exploitation of the foreign keys is data grouping. You can show in the table the items grouped on a foreign data. The group has the label of your choice coming from this foreign table. You can create unlimited groups inside the grid, in the filters, inside any list or combo box, or anywhere else when working on your MVC code. If you use an ordering system, you can decide to distinct the ordering grouping on a foreign data. To do this, link the field of your choice to the ordering wizard in the group by property. After that, it will only be possible to order the items that are contained in the same group. Joomla do a distinction between a view access level and an operation access. The view access level is defined directly in the table element itself, so a particular record can be accessible or not to a group of users. This functionality requires a dedicated field in the table. A wizard is able to create this functionality. The permissions for processing tasks are called ACL, Access Control List. Since Joomla 1.6, it is much more easy to define them. You can test the ACL behaviors of your component and the view levels directly in the sandbox, changing the virtual user. In the sandbox, the users are predefined and the groups too. A tooltip button helps you to know the accesses of the current selected user. If you need a front-end management interface, Cook is able to implement a front toolbar in the same way than the back-end toolbar. Another useful feature is the possibility to include an item task directly in the grid. By this way, the toolbar button is facultative and the user don't need to check the item before processing task. You can show the icon alone, the task name only, or both of them. It is also possible to create a task link on an existing column. For example, a link on the item title to edit it. Often with web softwares, the browser can ask you to resend the post if you return back, for example. With Cook, this is not anymore possible. The post is always killed, and the request is reconstructed in order to preserve correct the URL rewriting. An additional framework we propose you is a renderer class that works like the JHTML class. The reason we choose to implement this is to let you the possibility to change the input aspects and the HTML structure of all your forms in few seconds. This class is facultative. If you remove it from your component, the application layer will not be affected. The power of JDOM is not the collection of predefined controls, but the possibility to interface the data with the renderer of your choice. If you prefer, it is an abstraction layer to the HTML contents. With this common protocol, You will be able to evolve a personal reusable renderer library which will always be compatible with all your future Cook projects. JDOM is the bridge between your code and our code. From teeny projects like simple guestbook to heaviest applications like CRM, take advantage of it. Don't hack any more existing components. Recreate them. Rewrite your old components from scratch. Migrate old version to 1.6 standard. Be creative. Invent. You can now concentrate your precious time on the creative work. Enjoy.